神秘的大草原，自由而孤傲的生灵，改编自销量超过400万册的著作《狼图腾》。情人兵临城下，奥斯卡金像奖导演让·雅克阿诺历时7年准备，培养3代蒙古狼，打造华语世界传奇史诗。本期聚焦焦雄平对话法国导演让·雅克阿诺，带您探寻电影《狼图腾》背后的故事。
Monsieur Arnaud.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour. So happy that you join us, the In Focus program.
I'm very honored to be here. Yes.
We're very honored to have you, really. I've been following your career ever since 1978, when I first saw black and white color in America. I was in America. I don't know if anybody mentioned it. For me, it's a little Jean Renoir-ish. You think? Because, the kind of things that people, totally enjoy life. And then, sometimes in a silly way. And sometimes they're serious about life. And then in a total foreign place.
I was presented to the Oscars by Ivory Coast. And my producer was a guy from Switzerland. One day he calls me at home and says, I have a letter to read for you. This is a letter I received. And it's a very flattering letter.
Yes.
And I'm saying, oh, great, wonderful. Who wrote that letter? He says, Jean Renoir. Jean Renoir, who was the director I admired most. He's a French director, from...
You mean the most?
It was my idol.
Anyway, so this Renoir influences, I think, not only for the characters or plot or the way that you handle the story, but more is the touch of humanity.
Thank you for saying that. This is what touched me in Jean Renoir. I remember reading, I think in his memoir, he said, my trouble is I understand the reasons of my enemies. And I felt it was very nice. He always felt that there is some beautiful part in any heart or any brain. And I love this point of view. I love this way of receiving the others.
Yeah, the broad heart.
Yes.
The empathy for everything.
Yes, and he had that, and this is why it touched me so much. And I don't know if this work is famous in China, but Grande Illusion, The Great Illusion.
Oh, it's one of my favorite.
It's a masterpiece because it's a friendship of during the war of a French soldier with a...
Before the Nazi invasion.
So, it's just a magnificent piece of, should I say, heart instead of work.
We talk about the wolf totem, the whole controversy over the subject matter and the theme, because Jean Renoir, they say the same. He was talking about the nationalistic characters being sheep or sheepish, as contrast to Mongolian. I mean, China being the majority of Han people, the Han ethnicity, it's in the eyes of Jean Renoir, it's very weak and not so strong. It's a critique of the Chinese culture. But then you're doing this because he's like praising for the Mongolian culture because they imitate the wolf culture, the wolf society. What do you think of this?
Well, I think that it may be true in the past. It does not apply, in my view, anymore to Chinese society today or Mongol society today. You know, let's talk about the Mongols today. A lot of them live in cities. They are not warriors anymore. They are still riding horses in a beautiful way, and a lot of them still live in yurts, not so much in Inner Mongolia though, but it's still wonderful countryside. It is true that historically a few Mongols terrorized. It is true that similar that one wolf or 4 wolves can not only terrorize but kill a flock of sheep. A flock of 1,000 sheep can be killed by 4 wolves because they
Fears.
yeah, it's about fear. While wolves, it's about organization and self-confidence. So this is what he wanted to say. Now, if you look at Chinese society today, young Chinese are not sheep anymore.
You think?
No, no. This is what I love about the country is the people that have all those qualities that Zhang Rong is describing.
Of the Mongolian instead?
Yeah.
Really?
Of course, of course.
The film will be shown in
We
April?
open, no, the 13th of February for Chinese New Year.
Oh, congratulations.
Open, I think, for Valentine's Day.
Congratulations.
I'm very...
Why is so Valentine?
Probably because it's a work of love.
Okay, it's a big love. It's universal love.
Yes, yes. This is, you know, what I love in Zhang Rong, the real reason in my view, he did this book is because he felt that environment has to be protected, that other creatures, non-human creatures, have to be respected. That was really what he means deep inside. So this is why he wrote only one book, this man. You know, he had this adventure in Mongolia, and then for the rest of his life, devoted his life to writing a book. He talks about this wonderful discovery that he made over there, that, you know, he was so fascinated that he ended up capturing a little wolf, and then, of course, realized that what do you do with a wild animal, an animal that wants and needs to be in the wilderness alone, and not fed by human like a slave. That's the dilemma in the heart of the book and the heart of the movie, of course.
Have you ever showed the clips to him or the whole film?
Came to Beijing, then I stayed one day, next day
With him?
with him for 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks to Mongolia?
Yeah, we went to the very place where it happened. He showed me where he used to build his yurt, where he used to tend after his flock of sheep. We went to all those places in the grass, and he also showed me where he found this little wolf, the very place. He gave me so many anecdotes that were not even in the novel. It was very
privileged.
Emotional and emotional, because he would stop the car, stop. He would then get on his forehead and give me a plant, say, smell this, you know, oh, the sheep, they love this one. You have to be careful not to eat too much because blah, blah, blah. I saw Mongolia through his eyes, and I met his old friends, people that remembered him,
Being very old.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, but you know, those people told me stories at night, drinking, you know, doing a lot of zoiga. And it was a wonderful introduction to the life of traditional Mongol culture. Helped me to select. It would help my production designer, who's a Chinese man, very talented, to
work every details and authenticity.
Yes. He's very keen on that, you know, and I feel that was my
obligation.
Advantage.
Oh, advantage.
No, for the movie, I felt that was the right way to do. Well, I think it's a better show. It makes a movie more enjoyable. Because you don't, you know, when you don't question the details, you can trust the essential. You don't look at the details anymore. You say, okay, all right, I believe this.
擅长拍摄动物影片的阿诺导演，在影片《狼图腾》的拍摄过程中，历时2年培养了3代蒙古狼。在与狼相处的过程中，发生了哪些非同一般的感人故事？在狼的社会中，又将为人们带来怎样的人生感悟？
Since we're talking about totem, the wolf totem, I would like to ask you whether you shot tigers and bears before, but this is the first time you deal with wolves.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything from them, like Jean did,
Yes.
as a main theme of his book?
Yes, what you learn is about human society. What makes wolves very special is very much like we men and women. We are not really strong. We are not like rhinoceros. We are not like tigers. Therefore, we have the need to cooperate. We have the
To
need
form a society?
Yeah, if you want to hunt an elephant, don't go alone.
Do it in a group.
Do it in a group. Make sure that you have a leader that is a good hunter, who knows how to do it.
Manipulate.
And says, you do this, you do that, you attract his attention, you go this way, while I go under his belly and I open the belly. All right. And this is the thing you learn from wolves. There's, each individual is rather strong. We're talking 50 kilos of muscle with incredible teeth.
Yeah.
And very, very smart.
Dangerous.
Very smart. So different from dogs. Dogs are wolves that have chosen to become slaves. And therefore their descendants is descendant of slaves.
They're tame. Don't insult dogs. I love dogs.
No, I love dogs. Listen, of course, I grew up. I was an only child at home. I grew up with
dogs.
Yes, so dogs are wonderful. But wolves are warriors. They are kings. They want to be left alone. You can't touch a wolf. Even our trainers could not touch. We had a problem to clean them. Sometimes, they would put themselves in mud. Couldn't clean them. They would bite you. They would devour you. They're so fierce. And, they're always worried. A wolf is
alert.
Is like this all the time. Because they're thinking, something wrong may happen here. Who are those people? They sniff and everything. It takes ages for them to be confident. You come, a dog here, comes, a totally different mentality. I saw those groups, because in each group you have a king and a queen, so a first lady, but also the intrigues of the courts.
Really? Power struggle?
Power struggle. You can say, this one wants to be king one day.
Wow.
Trouble for the master. Well, very much like
human society.
Human society, The king went into a fight with his brother. His brother was stronger. And the
wanted
king
to take the throne?
Yeah, and got it.
Really?
Because his brothers said, okay, I don't want to lose a leg or an ear or an eye.
You be the king.
You be the king, my friend. Welcome.
Wow.
Became the prime minister. Kept his wife.
Really?
Yeah.
The first lady remained
the same?
First lady
remained the second lady, but kept the old king as a husband. What was phenomenal is I witnessed the first moments of the new reign, where the wolves respected the old king. They liked him because they knew he was intelligent, he was wise, and the new king had to perform something we were rehearsing, which was going through a tunnel. And the previous king would go through this tunnel very easily, was confident enough. Now the new king is terrorized. He goes, and all around, you see in the eyes of the wolves, say,
we'll see what he's going to do.
Are we having the right king here? So they look at each other like in a gang, a street gang, and there's this...
Wait him to prove that he's a king.
Right. Now, the spectacular thing that happened is after like 20 minutes of hesitation, one young wolf says to the king, Majesty, I could show you the way if you wish. So, oh, no, the king knew that if he would follow a subordinate, it was the end. So he managed, okay, to go through this tunnel. Now he goes out.
Come on, buddy, come on.
He's done it. Oh, now he knows he's the king. And you know what?
Wow.
All those courtesans who were like this, oh,
Now the worship.
Majesty, you're so strong, you're so beautiful. And you know what they do?
No.
They lick their ass.
Really?
Physically, with their long tongue. And the wolf walks like
Really?
this, and all the other in the back. I'm saying,
Oh, that's their.
I've seen that before.
They show their worship.
when you look at the close-up of those different wolves, it was like a comedy scene. This is why I love, once in a while, shooting a movie with animals. It's very difficult. It demands, it's very exhausting. It requires a lot of patience. But you get lessons.
You love animals so much. I feel very interesting to, that your film shows so many drama and some of the stories. So unimaginable how you did it, how you make them act.
It's not...
Half of them were true, or...
Yes, let me explain. The trick is to write something that they would do for real. Mm-hmm. So you better do your job. The first task is to understand
their behavior.
Yeah. So there are things that wolves would never do. First thing to do is go to a wolf specialist and say, "What is that something they would do?" If the person says, "No, they'd never do a thing like that for which is this and this reason," forget about your scene. Don't write something else. Try to understand wolf behavior. Now, what you have to do is way in advance prepare your scene, explain to the trainer what you expect the wolves to do. And now the trainer will tell you, all right, for them to do it naturally, you would have to put them in a situation that they understand and where they would spontaneously do this. This is why usually it's take one, that's a good take, because animals are like children.
It's like documentaries.
No, because documentaries are waiting for the moment to happen. Here it's a scripted action. And
you still create the environment for the things to happen.
Yeah, we put the rocks where I want the rocks to be. I put my actor the way, and I put the wolves the way I saw it in my head. The good thing is, if it's not right, the wolf won't do it. It's as simple as that. When they do it so spontaneously that it's terrific. Because it's wolf true reaction. So this is how I did those two other movies that I did with animal actors. Really, you have to first identify with the animal.
After the shoot, you really love the wolves.
Yes, it's something very bizarre that happened.
Yeah. I
saw one wolf looking at me and crawling. And my trainer said, "Oh, that's the leader,
friendly.
That's the king."
Oh.
And he came to me.
It's a friendly gesture.
Yes, an extremely humble gesture, and offered me his belly.
Really, that's the vulnerable gesture.
Vulnerable part. So I remember caressing him, and he just did very politely a little licking, and very shyly retreated, and would lick me, which was very strange because no one could touch him. This trainer, somehow, but the other trainers around, no one could even get close. And jumping in time, making a time cut, when we were shooting, every day we were shooting with the wolves, I would make sure that he couldn't scratch me, because what would happen is I would get into his side of the fence and he would run from the distance and jump at me. And, he was as tall as I am, 50 kilos of muscles, very sharp teeth, and would go, big tongue all the way.
Hurt you in his friendly way.
Yeah, and of course I would be scratched, and young assistant would be waiting with water, disinfectant, tissues. But it would last about, sometimes 10 minutes, because it would not let me go. But it was it became very touching, very emotional.
Right.
To the point that his wife would start, Lady Silver was her name, would start being impatient and would,
because she wants to greet you too.
No, she wants to say, the two of you, this is enough now.
Oh, he's mine.
He's my guy. Go away. This is enough.
Really?
When I shoot, I usually don't cut my hair because I have no time. So I had long hair, and she would pull my hair like this.
Get away from it.
Get away.
狼图腾并不是阿诺导演首次与动物合作。早年间，他拍摄的影片《熊的故事》《双虎奇缘》中，动物演员们的出色表演为他带来了巨大的声誉。在充满戏剧性的故事情节中，动物演员们是怎样完成表演？这其中又有哪些拍摄秘诀？
Every film took about 6 years or so, or 5 years for you.
No. Only the movie The Bear and this one took that long. Usually my
Tiger
movies,
one is okay?
Tiger, yeah. Too bad this was easier, because tiger they reproduce very easily. You can have little tigers, as many as you want.
Number.
Oh, they're sexually very
Active.
Very, very active. They're champions.
Yeah, how I was watching the film. How did you capture those active behavior in the beginning?
That's another story.
It was pretty.
Yeah, well,
it's a narrative.
It's a
not,
sex scene between two tigers. My trainer said, well, that I cannot train.
Of course.
They have to be in one of those days where she wants and he wants. So we built a set, and
it's a set. It's not a natural scene.
No, because where do you put the camera? In nature, they would do it wherever they choose to do, and my cameras
cannot follow everywhere.
Follow everywhere. Built a set that would be adapted to the way I was seeing the scene, and one of the trick was to make it very uncomfortable, mostly everywhere, but to have like a bed, a very comfortable place with dry leaves, and a warming system under.
Oh,
very
luxury hotel.
Luxury hotel for honeymoon, and then we pre-lighted this little set. Yeah. After a few weeks in the first location, didn't happen. So I moved to another location. Moved. We built this set about 10 times, 10 different places.
10 traps of luxury hotel.
10 luxury rooms, pre-lighted with the heating device and all that. And I end up almost at the end of the shoot. My trainer comes, he says,
it's time now.
Now, not tomorrow, not in an hour, it's now.
It's so magical.
It's magical because it's, the cameras were in such a way that if you're in the head of a tiger for for sure you will pick this place. We also put we spread it was a very thorny jungle. So no tiger likes the thorns, you know. Only that place was warm and welcoming. So
you can build the Love Hotel there for the tigers, but how about the bear, the little bear running away from the mountain lion? It was such a touching, piece of work.
Yeah, that piece is more, should I say, fabricated, because the reality...
There are a lot of cutting, yeah, it's true.
The reality is the puma, the mountain lion, was the one who was frightened with the bear.
Oh, wow, really?
So we had
Was it little cub? No.
Well, little bears, they grow up very, very quickly. So when I shot that scene, this little bear was the size of a mountain lion.
Well, what about the scene that the bear walks on the little tree bridge and then fall into the water?
That I shot it for real.
Yeah, but how did that happen?
I had a canyon. I built
a tree.
I locked a camera, several cameras, and on the end of that tree, two branches, where the little cub was used to have his food every day.
So he walked to that.
Walked to that place, and we had a remote control device
To break it.
And as a matter of fact, I was falling in a net that I removed.
Instead of the water.
Yes. After that, we did a pickup with a puppet into the water at the same angle.
Yeah.
Remove the net, and also in order to make sure that the branch would not fall on the little cub, we would have a chain. So when it broke, it didn't fall. The bear fell in the net, but the branch remained hooked at the tree. It was a very complicated scene to shoot, of course, because not only you have to make it real, look real, but you have to make sure that there is no danger for animals.
You're working with like Shangdo and Feng Xiaofeng this time.
When you have good actors, remarkable actors, what is important is the heart. We all hope that it will be immensely beneficial for the filmmaking in China. We'll make movies that can inspire the world.